Hi FlashTube, it's Diane. I'm going to do my update video and then I'm going to do Whip Parade. So what have I been working on? I have a new start. My new start would be in Morison. This is the special one through Traditional Stitches. And it's for their 20th anniversary. I got it started. I'm doing this on 40 count Havana, weeks dye works, 1 strand over 2 threads. I'm using the 1003s, or I'm not 1000, I'm sorry, 100 threes, the ones that are the silks that are on a spool, except there were some colors that my shop didn't have, so I chose the Avera Soie alternatives. And here is where I'm at. I do have a board here. Should use. So here is where I'm at. So this is as far over as the sampler will go. And so I have a pretty good start. The color that I'm using right now, I'm just going to go with it. Because when I was looking at the photo, some of the colors blend in with the fabric, and it really doesn't matter what fabric you use. One or more of the colors is going to blend in, but because of the colors around, you'll still see them. So that is the one I started that on January 1st. And I need to get back to that one because I do want to keep up with the stitch along. And it's just a nasty paper cut, but my band-aid won't stay on. And I know you can use paper tape, but I am allergic to paper tape. It burns my skin, so it looks nasty, but it's just a paper cut. With the Needle 2 by Lila Studios. I did try and stitch on my Whip Go pieces for January. They just weren't calling to me. But this one is also my Whip Go, so this one was calling to me, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go with it. 40 count natural. I am using the Called for Colors, which is a mixture of overdyes and DMC. Here's where I'm at. This motif was completely done, so I've been working on this box. And on my Whip Go board is to complete a box. So my plan, because this one was not called in January, is to finish this box and then put this one away, unless I want to go with this one, because that's kind of how my stitching's been. But then if I put it away and then it gets called eventually, it'll be the next box. But I'm really enjoying it. These colors are just beautiful on this fabric. And again, they're the overdyed, a mixture of overdyes and DMC. So that's the one that's been on my radar, and I've been going with it. Those are the only two I've been stitching the last couple weeks. Again, I pulled out Moonflowers. Well, actually, you know what? I did a little bit on Moonflowers. I should try to get that out. Moonflowers, Mirabilia. Sun 32 count Ursula Under the Sea Fabrics. And I had this part done. I did add another row, but then I went down here and started on her skirt. I joined the School of Magical Stitches, and I have come to the conclusion counting my stitches just is not for me. I just, no, it just took the joy out of stitching for me away, and I don't want to do that. So I will stay in the group because the group is a really good group. I'm going to stay in the group and cheer people on, but I'm not, counting stitches just is not for me. I'm more in the camp. I was watching Blitz Stitch. Brian, I don't remember which video it was, but he said he doesn't count stitches necessarily. He counts blocks of 10 by 10. That makes more sense to me, but I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just not going to worry about it. It takes away the fun of the project to me. I like to set goals, like finishing that box before I go on to the next thing. And I want to go back to Anne Morison. I want to have a portion of the top of that sampler completed by the end of January. So for me to set goals, achieve those goals before moving on to another piece, that works for me. But it's a fun group to be part of, and I'm glad to be part of it. And they're not kicking me out. I went to Stitchville the 31st of December. Today is January 13th, 2021. Thank you. My Fitbit. I already worked out this morning and met all my goals for the day, so leave me alone. It is one of my son's 21st birthdays. So he's, yeah, another child is 21. We're having his favorite dinner, and he's having cheesecake for his birthday cake. Because he really doesn't have a favorite cake. Some of them do. But I talked to him. I said, well, what about cheesecake? He's like, ooh. So I got cheesecake. And I have a gluten-free cake option for myself in Mini Dot, because I'm having him go gluten-free for a while. Just some things some of my kids have had to be gluten-free until their digestive system matures. And I have to be gluten-free. So it's not like we're not making gluten-free stuff. Anyway, when I went, because my husband gave me a gift certificate for Christmas, and when I got better after all that, I actually on the 31st went to my doctor that morning just to make sure I wasn't missing something with regard to my stomach. I'm like, okay, am I missing something? And we both talked through what had happened. I think it was food poisoning, and I think I know what the culprit was. And it was a type of breakfast sausage, and let's just say when I bought two, and we'd used one that morning. I went to the freezer and I got the second one, and I just threw it away. Like, that's got to be what it was. But when I went there, I decided to kit up two pieces. So Friendship Sampler by Shakespeare's Peddler. And this calls for GAST, right? Yes. I had some of them in my collection, but I just picked up the ones I didn't have. And Stitchville was out of Raven. So I'll just eventually get that. But I haven't started this one yet. But the fabric that I had thought I would use, it was too dark. So I picked up this piece of 40 count fiber on a Whim. It's called Cappucchino. And then putting the colors on. These are the called for colors. I think that'll look really good all together. So that one's now on my list for 2021 as a new start. Not sure when it'll be started. I picked that up at Galleria 2019. And I also decided to kit up this one. This is Cottage Garden Samplings, one of the Songbirds, number 12. I have all 12 of these. And I was going through my box going, oh, what should I kit up? And I thought, oh, I need to do these. So this is the one I chose to do first. This will be my first one. They're all the same size. This one calls for weeks. And I think beige is the only color that Stitchville didn't have. But I went through my stash and I found 36 count Fall Foliage by Fiberlicious. If I did the math right, which I believe I did, this piece, I was part of the Fabric of the Month Club. I've switched to Fiber of the Month Club, and these are the colors. And beige is a really light tone like you'd expect. So, you know, if nothing else, I'll use the DMC alternative. If I need to. I don't think I'll need to. when I start this, I'll just go around the beige and then stitch everything else around it. And I looked at some other online place to order because I was thinking of ordering, oh, it was Fat Quarter Shop. I need to order some more fabric for my daughter's quilt, and they were out of those particular colors of weeks. So they must be, I know Oscar was hard to find for a while, and so these must be the latest ones that are hard to find. So from Stitch Felt, I picked up also Christmas Time by Abby Rose Designs. Although instead of putting ho 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 here, I'm thinking of putting the year. So I need to figure out what year I'm stitching this in. Also from Abby Rose Designs, Let Freedom Ring. I have Liberty Lane. So maybe I should put them on the same. Like in a row. I'll have to look at the pattern. I also picked up Mermaid Perfume. Or Parfume. I don't know which way you'd say it. She's got a lot of beads. But the tail, the swirls in the tail are just beautiful. And I like the countenance on her face. And then there was, let's see, Newcastle Bouquet. I've wanted this since market last year. Which I hear market is not happening this year because of all the COVID stuff and uncertainty. So watch different designers, follow them on Instagram or Facebook, and maybe they'll give you previews of what they're releasing, because this is beautiful. I've wanted it since last year's market. It was out for a while at Stitch Fell, and then I kept looking at it, and I thought, I'm getting it. Oh, that one I already have. I had that one. And then they also had a gift from Stitchville and Marjorie Massey through Shakespeare's Peddler, a little Christmas thing. How big is this? There's no colors called for, but if you'd used a green and a red and a white and probably a black for like the beak of the swan. Anyway, and also she gave out free needle minders. Stitchville usually has 2 sales a year. It's on Super Bowl Sunday, which probably will not happen this year. I got my hair cut last week, and it's, I don't know. I'm not one of those people that knows what to do with your hair. But she also has Black Friday sale. Well, this year she didn't have a Black Friday sale, but she had, if you came into the shop in the month of December, one day you could get 20% off most items in the shop, like flosses, patterns, and that's why I went on the 31st, because I could use my husband's gift certificate, gets 20% off, kit up a couple things, all the things. And then I drove home. Okay. Got a call from my husband on the way home. I need the car now. What's going on? I went from my doctor to Stitchville. Our son, our 16-year-old son, decided to cut the end of his finger off. Yeah. So I was already on my way home, and I got home, and pressure would make it stop, but if you remove the pressure, it wouldn't stop bleeding, so we had to go to urgent care, and they cleaned it really well, and they still had to do the silver nitrate to kind of cauterize it because there was nothing to stitch. And so he's gotten out of guitar lessons for 2 weeks now, because you can't, it's his left hand, so he can't do certain chords, and it's still really sensitive, no infection, all the things. He felt kind of stupid, but it's one of those things, you're cutting and you get distracted for a second. It can happen to anyone. He said, yeah, Mom, why is it I always get hurt about this time of year? Because last year it was his bloody noses. I don't know. He was embarrassed. But he's good. It's healing. Next week he's going to try his guitar lessons. Most of the skin is grown back in. There's still a little scab there, but it's still going to be really sensitive for a long time because of the number of nerves you have. I mean, this little paper cut hurts. Yeah. But Liz Matthews had a sale last week on her Etsy shop on her PDF downloads. So yeah, my friend Helena told me about it. First day of Christmas. I'm actually thinking of doing these trees. That would look kind of cool. Be something different. Could sit under the tree at Christmas time. Oh yeah, and I picked up second day of Christmas. And of course, third day of Christmas. Stitchville was out of one of these, or I would have probably purchased it with the gift certificate from my husband. But I'm planning on doing them in DMC because, well, they're NPIs is the other one, but I have like one NPI. But also, I was reading how you make them and stuff. My kids would play with them. So DMC it is. And so that way they'd be kind of washable. But yeah, they're beautiful. I wasn't sure if I'd want the sampler or the tree, but these would take up less space overall. And she tells you how to make the tree. So I picked up those, and I'm going to make an assumption that day 4 will be out soon. But no pressure on any designers, because y'all keep making so many designs, we'll never keep up. But yeah, that's all I have. I'm going to do a whip parade. It's not going to be every whip I have, but it's going to be like half and half type of thing. I've been enjoying the whip parades. Yes, my list has been growing, my wish list. And sometimes it's like, oh, I got that pattern and that one. Oh, I have that one started. Yeah. So anyway, my plan is to finish that box on with the needle 2, see if I want to do the next box or not, because sometimes you just want to go ahead with the project, and if I do, I'm going to go for it. But then Morison, I want to be by a certain spot by the end of the month, and we will see. So yeah, I know some people are showing their finishes from last year, and if I counted right, I had 17 finishes. Not too bad. And one of them was my oldest whip, or no, my second oldest whip, and it was a large one. It was Garden of Stars. One was the family tree, so some big pieces, and Disturb Us. So they weren't all small pieces, but a mixture, which is always good. And 2 mirrors. I did 2. Finished 2. And one of them I actually didn't start till last year. So that feels good. So yeah, I thank you for subscribing, commenting, emailing, following me on Instagram. It's just mondotstitches. I know that I got contacted by the people who won the bags. They've been shipped. At least one has been received. I haven't checked the other 2. 2 went to Texas, and 1 went to Canada. So yeah, that's all I have for today. But I will talk to you guys probably in 2 weeks. Probably. And then I'll probably put up 1 video today and 1 video tomorrow. Who knows? But you'll see it. And I'll talk to you all later. Bye.